welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Christina and this is Christina's Crafts. I really hope you stick around and check out what I'm making today. Hi everybody, welcome. I am doing an easy one tonight. So I have had this galvanized sign in my stash for a couple of years now. I don't know if Dollar Tree still has them, but then again, a lot of Dollar Trees all have different stuff. And then this calendar that I got, I can't remember which year this calendar page was off of, but I am going to be putting these together to make a DIY. I'm trying to use up stuff that I already have in my stash. So if you just happen to have these two in your stash, you can make this project. Or you can just get a galvanized sign in any calendar that you want and Mod Podge it on there. So first thing I'm going to do is I am going to cut this jar out because I know it's a little bit big for my sign, but I also want it on there decent. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out and then figure out about where I'm going to put it on my sign. I think in a good spot, and I'm just going to get this bottom here Mod Podged onto here. I did read, or I saw somewhere, that if you now I moved it, paint your project like black color, you won't see the lines of the calendar. But with it being me putting it on the galvanized, I just didn't think that was a very good idea to paint it black because I didn't know how it was going to stick. So I am just going to go ahead and do it this way. And hopefully I have a solution for, in case you can see the numbers and the lines from the calendar poking through. I guess we'll find out. So I'm going to go ahead and get this Mod Podged on here and try and make sure I don't get in too many wrinkles in there. But I guess if I do, it's not going to look that bad. Okay, so I did an absolutely horrible job at putting this on here. There are wrinkles everywhere, and I did end up gouging it up over here, but I think I might have a fix for that. I don't know. I'm going to have to find something I think to put on there. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and take my X-Acto knife, and I'm just going to cut out around the mason jar and get all the excess off of there. So I'm going to do my best to make this, because I went through my stash and I looked to see if I had anything else that would fit on here, and there was nothing. So I'm going to try to make it work. Okay, everything's cut out now. I'm really wishing I would have left the top, or left it the galvanized. I'm not really a big fan of that, so I'm going to have to figure something out. But for right now, I'm going to kind of dull this up a little bit, and I'm just gonna take my paintbrush with a little bit of white paint on there and just kind of swipe across to kind of dull it just a little bit because it's really bright because of the paper. There, I think that's looking a little bit better. I'm gonna put a little bit more on there, I think. I really think that makes a difference. I know you probably can't see it on camera, but it really does. Okay, and then I am going to try to paint over this. So let's see how this works. I'm just not a fan of this top part. So I'm going to paint over this with white to cover it up. I'm guessing I'm gonna need probably like 2 coats. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that done. Okay, now that I have that painted white, I'm taking my Deco Art metallic paint and painting the top right over the white. I think this is gonna look a lot better. I know my paper's getting kind of wrecked. I mean, you can see it bubbling up because of all the wetness, but most of it's going to be covered, so hopefully you won't be able to see that. So I'm going to go ahead and get this painted. For my little screw-ups on here, I have these little snowflakes that I got from Dollar Tree, and I am going to stick these on here to cover up the little tears in the paper. So I'm just trying to make sure that I get these where I want them, so it's covered up. And then I'm thinking I'm going to stick one in the bottom yet too. I don't know if I want to put two on there. That might be a little over. I think I'm going to do a small one over here. Just like that. Yeah, that looks pretty decent, and it covers up my little paper rip. All right, I am just waiting for my hot glue gun to heat up here. I'm going to take some of this ribbon that I got. I believe I got it from Joann's when they were still open. And I'm going to put this on my jar right here. So I'm just, like I said, I'm waiting for my hot glue gun to heat up, but so far I think it's looking pretty decent. I might be able to salvage this one. It might turn out okay yet. I have my burlap ribbon right where I want it. So I'm just going to take my little finger and hot glue that down. And then I'm just going to flip this over real quick. I'm going to pull it as tight as I can. And then stick a little more hot glue on the back. All right, I am going to cut that off and then a little bit more hot glue. This was supposed to be a nice, easy one. It's turning to be a little bit more complicated than I thought it was going to be. But I think it's going to look decent. So that's what I got so far. And then what I plan on doing yet is I have these branches, these pine branches that I got off of Amazon. I'm going to cut these two smaller ones out on the side here. And then I plan on putting these right up here. So I'm thinking like right like that. That side has more stuff on it. Okay, so I'm just gonna stick some hot glue on here and stick it on. All right, then I just got to figure out something for the middle here, in the middle of these branches. I am thinking maybe sticking these berries in here. Just trying to figure out, yeah, probably like that. That probably will be good right there. Oh yeah, that just pulls out. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull these off the stems. And I'm thinking, yeah, I don't like that. I think I'm going to kind of go that way. So there's one berry. And these were from Dollar Tree too, these berries. There, I think that looks pretty decent. I'm thinking it needs something else yet. Let me think about it for a second. Oh, I felt like it looked a little empty up top here, so I just made a little bow to stick in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab my hot glue and hot glue that right up top here. And I think that'll look a little bit better. Then it doesn't look quite so, I don't know, just look plain. I just didn't like the way it looked. And then it's just basically, the only thing I have left is to put a little hanger on it. So I'm just going to take some of my jute And I'm just gonna, I don't know, I thought about putting it in the top, but I don't think so. I think I'm gonna just put it on here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and snip some of this off. And then, oh, I'm like totally yeah, I'm like darkening my whole project. Yeah, it'll be all right. You get the gist of what I'm doing. All right, so I'm just gonna take my hot glue and hot glue my string on there. Oh yeah, I probably don't know how long I want that. I will just guess. Okay, and then I'm probably gonna take a little piece of tape yet too and put that over there. So I'm just gonna cut a little piece of tape off and stick some more hot glue on there and then put my tape over it. So hopefully it stays nice and tight. Let's snip that end off. And stick that on there. Oh, I got that sticking too far. Okay, and then I think that's gonna be it. Well, it didn't start off the best, but I think it ended up turning out okay. Yeah, so I'm just gonna leave it just like that. I'm not doing anything else with it. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial, and I would like it if you share my video and like it and subscribe to my channel, and have a great night. Thanks for watching. Bye.